Hello, my name is Reginald Bullock, and I am the author of Father to Son, A Guide to Growing Up in a Difficult World. This next chapter, Hygiene, is significant. There are just so many things a young man, and I'm speaking young men, but people, but in this case for the book, does not know growing up. I mean, I grew up with everybody grabbing their penis area. And a lot of people did it, because it was cool or it was a habit or they saw somebody else doing it, so they wanted to be cool like them. So everybody's grabbing, right? But where did it start? I believe they weren't taught how to wash properly. So, and the book gets into it explicitly, how to wash your penis and your balls and the whole genital areas and anything else that's warm and moist where skin comes together. Because it attracts dirt and bacteria and things like that. And then it itches. So if it's itching, you're going to scratch it. But if it's clean, it's not going to itch. You don't have to scratch it. That's a duh moment, right? So why is everybody walking around scratching all the time? Because they don't know how to clean themselves. So, same thing with oral hygiene, right? I didn't even know what floss was until I got to my 20s. It's a whole different story. But can you imagine not flossing for 20 years, Because I just didn't know. And all of the bacteria and everything build up and all of the stuff that's going on with my mouth. Hey, look, I go to the dentist 4 times a year now to get professionally clean, and I am on it all the time. I don't want to lose my teeth, but I do have 3 bionic teeth now. Point is, kids should know this stuff. They should learn this stuff. And not all parents teach it, especially in the hood. That information is just not taught. So this chapter makes an attempt to help a young man learn about their body and just understand what hygiene means and what they should do. So enjoy the chapter.
Chapter 12 Hygiene. Hygiene could be considered as a part of health and fitness. However, I feel it needed to be addressed separately due to its distinct significance in your daily routine. Daily hygienic practice is one of the most overlooked routines by so many people. Far too many people will come home after school or work, change into their party or play clothes, slap on some cologne, and go right back out without even washing their hands. Even worse, I have known people to go home dripping with sweat who have done the same thing. That is disgusting. Here is a rule of thumb. If you smell yourself, others have already been smelling you for a long time. Not only is it disgusting, it is offensive. It is almost as bad as smoking around non-smokers. Being conscious of your hygiene takes effort. However, the effort you expend will reward you with big dividends. Some of the things we are told to do is wash our hands before eating, wash our hands after using the toilet, wash our hands after playing, wash our hands after handling animals, wash our hands before handling a baby, and many more reasons. All these practices are good because you do not want to get or transfer germs. In addition to the germs, you also do not want to contract unconquerable viruses, parasites, or worms. Each one of those can make your life unbearable. Parasites alone can cause you bad stomach problems, severe weight loss, weakness, and worst of all, several days of diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration. You will live on that toilet seat for quite a while just because you did not wash your hands. While living in Saudi Arabia, I have experienced what it was like to have parasites. It can be a nightmare. One of my friends missed work for 2 weeks and spent the first week in the hospital due to parasites. When it was all over, he was about 25 pounds lighter. There were times when almost 1/4 of the entire community where I lived had parasites. All because the cooks did not wash their hands. Because there were so many foreign nationalities from third world countries, diseases were everywhere. I know of people who contracted hepatitis from shaking hands. Maybe that is why some nationalities bow instead of shake hands. The main point I'm trying to express is the importance of washing your hands. Microscopic germs and parasites can cause severe problems, so wash your hands regularly. Speaking of washing, how often do you shower or bathe? Many people will answer once a day. My next question to them would be, at what part of the day do they shower or bathe? I know people who traditionally shower before going to bed, wake up, get dressed, and think they are clean. Wrong answer. They think they are clean, but in reality, they are sweating in their sleep, as well as shedding some of their dead skin. Another factor is that they are about to get dressed for a 12 to 16-hour day after sleeping for about 8 hours. I would hate to be around them near the end of the day. 20 hours without a shower can make a person pretty ripe. Son, I'm going to give you the lowdown on cleaning your body so that you will always know. As strange as it may sound, most people are not taught the fundamentals on cleaning themselves, which leads to hygienic problems. I recommend taking a shower at least once a day, preferably 2 showers, and depending on what type of activities you are involved in, maybe even more. Of course, the best time to shower is in the morning before going out to greet the world. Additionally, it also helps you to wake up and feel fresh before getting dressed. I also recommend taking a shower before going to bed. A dirty body and clean sheets just does not go together. Besides, having a clean body will help you sleep more comfortably. The other benefit of showering before going to bed occurs if you wake up late and you are in a rush. Should you have to forego a shower due to time, at least you will not be as dirty as you would have been had you not taken a shower the night before. Those are just the basic times. Of course, if you plan to go out in the evening, after going all day without refreshing yourself, it is always wise to shower before going out again. This way, not only will you look clean, but you will be clean all over. When taking a shower, you must pay special attention to the vital areas. By that, I mean the areas that collect the most dirt. Unfortunately, some people just glance a bit of soap over their body, and that is it. They think they are clean. Wrong answer. They are rinsed, but not clean. You need to scrub the vital areas, not just glance over them. Wherever the skin folds over to create a moist, warm environment, you are bound to have sweat and bacterial growth. The bacteria is what creates the odors. These are what I call the vital areas. There are several others, which I will also go over one by one, so that there is no misunderstanding about whether you are clean or not. After you get into the shower, rinse off all the surface dirt first. Once you have rinsed all the surface dirt off, begin to work on the vital areas. I recommend scrubbing those vital areas at least 3 times. That's scrub, rinse, scrub, rinse, scrub, rinse, with a good soaped-up washcloth or loofah. If you have any specialized soil on your body like grease, paint, oil, or other hardcore soil, start there. If you just had your hair cut, start there. Also, starting from the top and working your way down is a good way to make sure you covered all areas. One vital area that seems to always harbor dirt is the neck. If you have a ring around the collar, then your neck needs to be scrubbed thoroughly. Do not just scrub the neck only. Make sure you go all around and up and down to all the other parts that the neck attaches to. While you are there, clean your ears, inside and out. Do not worry too much about the water getting into your ears. Gravity or a good Q-tip swab will take care of that after you get out of the shower. Now that you have begun your cleansing, it is time to tame those underarms. Scrub-a-dub-dub. Do not forget to rinse your washcloth and reload with soap to ensure you have accomplished your task. The underarm needs to be scrubbed thoroughly. While you are in the area, extend your range for any stray bacterial critters. Remember, you are dealing with a vital area, and vital areas require special attention. Try using a white washcloth every now and then to see how well you are cleaning yourself. The overlooked area is the back. Your back sweats just like any other part of your body. Although it is hard to reach, you need to do your best. Generally, it is not washed as often as it should be. So when you do wash it, make sure you are making up for all the times you did not. A back scrubbing brush or loofah can assist you with this task. If you're out of shape or not too flexible, this will seem more like a painful challenge than a soothing shower. Now let us talk dirty. Son, the next area has all the characteristics of a vital area. It is warm, moist, the skin folds over other skin, and it produces sweat. You must pay special attention to cleaning your penis and the areas around it. You need to stretch the skin while washing it thoroughly. The skin underneath the penis, where it attaches to the scrotum, is where you will also find lots of buildup. While you are in that area, make sure you wash your scrotum well. As with the other vital areas, I recommend using a white washcloth to truly learn how well you are washing yourself. The intensity of the dirt will reveal itself to you on the washcloth, and you will learn how well you are cleaning yourself. Another way to determine if you washed your genital area well enough is whether or not you are constantly scratching yourself. There are a lot of guys who perpetrate looking cool by grabbing themselves between the legs or scratching themselves all the time. The truth of the matter is they either never properly wash themselves or they need to wash again. The bacteria is a living organism that is causing the itching sensation, not to mention an odor. As I mentioned earlier, bacteria is what causes the odor. If you just glance over your body with soap and water, you might not be killing all the bacteria. Have you ever smelled someone with a foul odor, although they recently took a shower? Generally, it is because they do not know how to wash, and they only took care of the surface dirt instead of getting rid of the bacteria. When washing the vital areas, it is important to remember that you are not just washing off dirt. You are killing bacteria as well. Son, there was a comedian who had a recording title which specifically dealt with washing. His name was Red Fox. He shared with the world a hygienic phrase that I have not forgotten. Because of its appropriateness, I would like to share it with you. He said, "You got to wash your ass. Not just your whole ass, but your asshole." He later explained in more explicit terms why. However, for the integrity of this book, I will just tell you the recording is very funny. Nevertheless, the buttocks is a vital area which needs complete attention. Your buttocks possesses all the characteristics of a vital area. It is warm, moist, the skin folds over other skin, and it produces sweat, as well as other matter. Please take heed to what the late Red Fox has so eloquently expressed. The rest of the body, i.e. legs, feet, arms, etc., depends on what your activities are. Of course, you need to wash your entire body, but you need to spend a little extra time on the vital areas. When it comes to your face, be careful not to mess your skin up with harsh soaps. I recommend using a facial bar or cleanser specifically for the face. If you do not have anything but regular soap, be gentle. While you are in the shower, do not forget to flush out your nose. If you are engaged in sports or other physical activities, I recommend being clean before engaging in the activities, and definitely shower after the activity. Once you have cleaned your body, use a good deodorant under your arms. Some deodorants may be more compatible with your body chemicals than others, so try several until you find a few that work well and smell nice. You also need to moisturize your skin. Keeping healthy skin not only looks good, it feels good too. If you have problems with foot odor, you should use a good foot deodorant to control athletes' feet. Although not everyone has this problem, for those that do, it can be quite serious. The practice of splashing or spraying on cologne is generally done after showering. When using cologne, make sure it is compatible with your skin and natural body odor. What smells good on one person may not smell the same on another. The other caution I would like to warn you against is not to overdo it. Too much cologne is just as offensive as a person who needs to wash more often. If you are not sure about how much to use, just ask someone with good judgment to give you their opinion. Just as washing your body regularly is helpful to your health and others, so is cleaning your mouth. A dentist can tell you how many germs are in the mouth. I am here to tell you a few things on keeping most of them away as opposed to keeping people away. Most people brush at least once a day, which is nice. I recommend brushing about 3 to 5 times a day. If you talk a lot, or if talking is how you earn a living, then your mouth needs to be cleaned more often than someone who does not talk for a living. Not only should you brush, you need to floss. Although most people tend to focus on the teeth, the bacteria is all over the mouth, not just the teeth. Because of this, you need to brush your tongue by rubbing your tongue up against the roof of your mouth and see if you feel a coating of bacteria. The critter's almost always lingering in the back of your mouth, which means you have to brush there also. If you're like most people, you'll probably gag from this experience. It's okay. Gagging is okay. Don't overdo the brushing of your tongue in the rear of your mouth. Just get that film off. Then your mouth will be really clean. Some people say you should floss once a day. I say floss as often as you need to. Depending on what you eat, a toothpick just does not cut it. When you have something stuck between your teeth, there is nothing like the feeling of floss to rescue you from that irritating feeling. Speaking of eating, I also recommend you rinse your mouth out with water after eating. Do it for a week and watch all the stuff that comes out, and you will be doing it for the rest of your life, especially after eating popcorn. Speaking of floss, I have an idea which may or may not be patented yet. Instead of those flavored toothpicks the restaurants give you after a meal, they could give you a 20-inch length package of floss. Now that is a moneymaker. I do not have the time to research whether or not it is already patented. However, if it is not, it could be a moneymaker. After cleaning your teeth, you need to clean your mouth. Many people think that just because they brush their teeth, their breath will not smell bad. Wrong answer. You cleaned your teeth, not your mouth and throat. You need to wash your mouth out with something that also fights bacteria and plaque. A good bacteria and plaque-fighting mouthwash should do the trick. After doing all that and you still have bad breath, you should see a dentist. A dentist might have to clean your teeth and gums professionally. Most of the times, a routine checkup, which generally does not hurt, will clear it up. Regular oral hygiene will help to make the trip to the dentist painless. If you do not maintain good oral hygiene, you will allow those germ critters to cause you big problems. Consider the germs in your mouth like an army, perhaps a few thousand microscopic critters preparing for an attack. As you eat, they eat. Just like you, these germs excrete waste products after eating. These waste products are bacterial acids, which begin to cause tooth decay. Since these germs are like us, there are foods they like and foods they do not like. There are also foods they digest better than others. The easiest food for them to digest is sugar. The more sugar you eat, the more they eat. The more they eat, the more waste they excrete. The more waste they excrete, the faster your tooth may decay. So leaving the slightest food particles in your mouth will literally be feeding an army. The other reason you should brush and floss often is to get rid of the plaque. This monster, if left unattended, will get stronger by the hour. Once he reaches his full strength, only a dentist has the power to beat him. That sticky, mucus-type stuff you scrape off of your teeth is plaque. It generally begins its journey of growth after a meal, usually at the gum line. Once it has begun to mix with all the other moist stuff in your mouth, it becomes thicker, usually white. This is called materia alba. At this point, you must brush and floss or else it will be too late. If you do not get rid of it, it will become like epoxy cement. Once it sticks, it will become as hard as stone. This is tartar. Tartar can only be removed professionally. Tartar will also cause you to lose all of your teeth. Oral hygiene is more important than most people realize. I remember while on a business trip in St. Louis, my gum was swollen around one tooth. I did not pay much attention to it because I felt it would go down eventually. After a few weeks, I started to feel a slight irritating feeling. One night, I woke up at about 1 a.m. in pain. I had never experienced that type of pain in my life. It brought tears to my eyes. I ran to the mirror in the bathroom and looked into my mouth to see what it was. It was that swollen gum. Because I was in a hotel in another state, I did not know who to call. I put ice on it. I took aspirin. I even tried to pull the tooth out myself. I took a paper clip and stuck it down the side of the gum to see if I could get the pain out. Actually, the paper clip somehow relieved the pain long enough for the ice to go to work. I never did get to sleep that night. At about 7 a.m., I was calling the dentist for an emergency appointment. He saw me right away. He said I had an abscessed tooth. He explained that it was because my oral hygiene was not adequate. Much to my dismay, he also told me he would not be able to drain the abscess for a couple of days. He did, however, prescribe lots of medicine for me. The painkiller was my main concern. Not only did he tell me all about how I acquired the abscess and relieved my suffering, he explained what it was and why he had to wait a few days before draining it. He said the medicine was to help neutralize the abscess because the abscess was actually poison, almost like a snake's venom, only not as bad. He said he did not want the poison to get into my bloodstream from the work because if it got into the bloodstream, it would travel to my heart. If an abscess gets to your heart, it could be fatal. Talk about scared. Since then, I am now a believer in good oral hygiene. Although good oral hygiene is very important, I would like to also talk about hair. If you allow your hair to grow long, you need to keep it cleaned, groomed, and free of insects. In the 70s and earlier, many people sported afros and other types of styles with long hair. It was the fad then. It was also more difficult to manage than short hair. It took longer to wash and longer to comb. If bugs were to build a home in your hair, it might be some time before you realize it. If some sort of scalp disease were to begin to form in your hair, it may take some time before you notice it. The answer is to keep it at a relatively short style. A shorter style is not only easier to manage, it also looks good. As for having a beard, just like the scalp, the cleaning and grooming rules also apply here. You may need to be cautious of shaving bumps as you get older. Generally, you will notice an itching sensation and bumps under your neck and around other areas where your hair is growing. This can cause your pores to clog and, in some cases, infection. Some say the problem is best handled by shaving with the grain, using a sharp blade, not an electric one. There are all sorts of stuff on the market that is supposed to stop, soothe, or relieve the problem. However, I recommend consulting someone specialized in this area before experimenting on your face. The one thing that seems to be universal in solving the problem is allowing the hair to grow for a while. Personally, I prefer to be clean-shaven. However, every once in a while, I do let it grow, usually on vacations. Good grooming does not just stop at your hair. You also need to pay attention to your nails, not just your fingernails, but your toenails as well. Keep them clean and cut. All sorts of nasty stuff hides underneath your fingernails. Even after washing your hands, there are still deposits of dirt left under your nails. If you really want to enjoy an experience, have them professionally cleaned and trimmed. You will find it very interesting. Besides, once you have your nails professionally done, you will have learned how to properly do it yourself. These are just a few of what I consider very important hygienic concerns which you need to know about. As you can see, it is very important to pay attention to detail when it comes to your body. From head to toe, you need to be in good form. Not only will you smell good, but you will also look good and feel good too. Remember, what separates two people most profoundly is a different sense and degree of cleanliness.